In a small, forgotten town, there lived two souls destined to be intertwined, Evelyn and Marcus. From childhood, they shared a bond that transcended time and space, an unexplainable connection that felt both comforting and unsettling. As they grew older, their lives took different paths. Evelyn pursued art, while Marcus became a scientist. Despite the distance, they often dreamed of each other, a shadowy presence that haunted their thoughts. The dreams felt vivid, filled with whispers of a dark fate. One evening, Evelyn found an old, dust-covered journal in her attic. It belonged to her great-grandmother, who had written about a curse that haunted their family, a curse tied to soulmates. It claimed that if one half of a soulmate pair died, the other would be forced to follow, their souls entwined in a cycle of despair. Chilled, Evelyn brushed it off as superstition, but that night, she awoke to find Marcus standing at her window, his face pale and eyes wide with fear. "I saw something, Evie," he whispered, his voice trembling. Something that shouldn't exist. Days passed, and their connection deepened, but so did the darkness surrounding them. Each night, Evelyn dreamt of Marcus in a cold, dark place, his body lifeless, calling her name. Panic clawed at her heart, but Marcus insisted it was merely a nightmare. One rainy night, Marcus invited Evelyn to his lab to show her his latest experiment, a machine designed to peer into alternate realities. The air crackled with energy as they activated it, and a horrifying vision materialized on the screen, a version of their town consumed by shadows, where twisted figures lurked in the streets. "I can't shake the feeling that this is our future," Marcus said, eyes wide. "It's like a warning." Evelyn's heart raced. "We have to stop it." Days turned into a frantic search for answers. They uncovered tales of others who had been bound by the soulmate curse. Each story ended in tragedy, and the weight of fate pressed down upon them. Then came the night that shattered their world. Marcus called her in a panic. "I need you. Something's happening." When Evelyn arrived, the lab was dark, the air thick with dread. She found Marcus in a trance, eyes fixed on the machine, shadows flickering around him. "Marcus, snap out of it!" she screamed, but it was too late. A figure loomed behind him, its presence suffocating. In that moment, Evelyn realized with horror that it was her, an echo of herself, twisted and malevolent, a reflection of the curse. "Evelyn, help!" Marcus gasped as the shadow wrapped around him, pulling him into the darkness. She lunged forward, but the shadow struck her down, leaving her gasping for breath. In a desperate plea, she reached for the journal, flipping through pages frantically. A spell caught her eye, a way to sever their bond and escape the curse. But it required a sacrifice. With tears streaming down her face, she whispered the incantation, feeling the pull of their connection wane. As Marcus's cries echoed in the distance, she felt her heart shatter. The shadows engulfed him, and in that moment, Evelyn understood the true meaning of their bond. Soulmates, forever intertwined, but cursed to suffer. As the darkness faded, she was left alone in the silence, the weight of her choice bearing down on her. She had saved herself, but at what cost? In the years that followed, the town whispered of a ghostly figure roaming the streets, searching for something lost. Evelyn wandered, a hollow shell, forever haunted by the echo of a love that had turned into a nightmare, a reminder that some bonds were never meant to be severed, and some fates could never be escaped.